Hello parents and leaders, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to watch this video today. I want to give you an update on some things going on in our student ministry for the month of March. We're going to take a look back on the month of February as well to see some things that we went through and to see some things that we did in the month of February. Now we've been dealing off and on so far in 2022 with some cancellations of things. At the beginning of the year it was COVID. In February we dealt with a lot of weather. So we've been off and on for a lot of the year so far, but the times that we have been on have been phenomenal. We're having a great start to our year in our student ministry, and we have a lot going on in the month of March. So let's look back on February really quick. For our rooted time, which is our Sunday school time, we've been walking through the Gospel of Luke. And in the Gospel of Luke, we're continuing to just look at directly the story of Jesus and what happened in his life. We're seeing a lot of parables, a lot of lessons, a lot of things like that. And we're really about halfway through the book of Luke. So we're getting further, but we have a long ways to go still. So we're excited about what the Lord is doing in that. During our midweek time, we spent a majority of the month of February talking through relationships and love. We had a little survey that our students took to get and kind of gauge where they are in terms of how they view relationships and how they view what God's Word says about them. And I'd love to share some of those results with you. So come talk to me about that. I'd love to show you kind of what our students responded with on that. Reach out to me. I'd love to share more info on that. In addition, for our midweek time, we also spent some time talking directly about evangelism as we approach some of the things that we're doing in the month of March. It's important for us to really hone in on evangelism, sharing our faith, being willing to have gospel conversations. And that's the main part of what we're going into now as a student ministry. So I'm excited to see what is ahead. Lastly, we had our very first, or I should say our second refuge meeting time. Our first refuge meeting time with stuff to go over. And that was a great night. We went to Freddy's and we had the opportunity to gather as a youth group. I think we had about 9 students involved in Refuge that night who are just walking through a book of the Bible, reading it throughout the month, coming together, going over ways that they applied their faith in their life for that month, and really just talk about it as a group, be open, be honest with one another, have an opportunity for their accountability partner to have a meeting with them, to meet with their accountability partner. It was a great night. I'm looking forward already to our next Refuge meeting in March, which I'll talk to you about here in just a couple minutes. So we have a couple of important dates that you need to know about for the next couple of weeks in our student ministry. Number one, this Wednesday night, March the 9th, is Tropical Waffle Night in our student ministry. We have free waffles. We're going to have the student machine making a big return. We're going to have a few prizes available for students in attendance. Also, every single student is encouraged to bring a friend. So that's the entire basis of what Tropical Waffle Night is. It sounds silly, but the entire point of that is so that students are willing to bring their friends to our youth ministry. And we're excited to see what the Lord's going to do this Wednesday night at 6 p.m. It'll run till about 7:30. We're going to go a little bit longer on Wednesday night, so make sure your student is in attendance. And if your student hasn't already, encourage them to invite their friends Wednesday night. Secondly, that's going to lead into Day of Renewal on March the 19th. Saturday, March the 19th is our Day of Renewal. This is a rescheduled date from January. We had it planned and ready to go in the month of January. Then we had to deal with some coronavirus issues. So we postponed it and we rescheduled it for March the 19th. And that is coming up at the end of spring break. So I know next week is spring break for your student. Make sure they're there for Day of Renewal. If you've not signed your student up yet, I've attached a link to this video and on our Facebook page or on this group page in this parent and leader group. Make sure your student is signed up. If you registered or your student registered in January, their registration is still good. For this one, the cost is $30. Let us know if you need help paying for that. We'd love to make sure your student makes it to Day of Renewal. If your student is in need of a ride to Wilmot, where Day of Renewal takes place, they are encouraged to be here at Exchange by 8:45. I know that Wilmot is a little bit further of a drive for a lot of you who bring your student to Exchange a lot or have your student attend Exchange. If you need a ride or your student needs a ride to Wilmot, they need to be here at Exchange at 8:45 a.m. That's how you can get to Wilmot Place, and we'll bring them back here as soon as we're done Saturday evening. On top of that, I'm excited about Day of Renewal. We have 4 or 5 other churches that are going to be involved with Day of Renewal, and it's going to be a wonderful day to minister to students and to see how students can grow in their walk with the Lord. And of course, we have a dodgeball tournament for the Key to the City that's making a return from last year. Please register your student ASAP if they haven't already, and make sure they're there for Day of Renewal on March the 19th. Lastly, I want to look ahead to our Refuge date for the month of March. For Refuge, this month we're going through the book of Acts. Last month we went through the book of John. Students did a wonderful job going through it. This month it's the book of Acts. Make sure your student is ready and prepared. I don't have the exact time yet ready for you for our next Refuge meeting. We're working on that this week, but it's going to be the weekend of March the 20th, that same weekend of Day of Renewal. Make sure that your student keeps their eyes and ears open to see when that time's going to be, and be prepared for the Lord to move, and just be prepared to see how He's going to use this Refuge time. I'm so encouraged by the start that we've gotten off to in our brand new Refuge curriculum, our brand new Refuge time, which is what our student leadership and discipleship was. Man, I'm excited to see how the Lord's going to continue to move. So I want to thank you so much for taking time today to watch this video. I hope this is an encouragement to you. If you have any questions on anything, reach out to me, email me, call me at church office, call my cell. I'd love to answer some questions for you about what's going on in our student ministry. Thanks so much. Have a great day.